Hello and welcome to the roster cleanup step of the Healthy Schools Toolkit project. This is where you will consolidate all the responses you received from the roster development exercise, clean them, and create files that you can use for a roster analysis or for setting up a network survey. As with the roster development page, this application will shut down if you don't enter any information for more than 15 minutes. However, this activity will likely take you a long time, so we will give you a method to save your work. We'll get to that in a bit. First, we'll need to upload the working roster files we've been given by the folks who have completed the roster development exercise. You'll want to have all the files in the same folder, like I have them here, and that'll help our upload process very easily. So let's go down to our upload step, click Browse. All right, so to click everyone, I'll just click on the first one, hit the Shift key, and then click on the last one, and that'll select all of them. And there we go. So what do we have? These two boxes show us, here's our uploaded files, all the things I've selected. Here's our included rosters. Right now, these tell me the same thing. I'll show you an example a little bit later where they'll show something different. And our final list shows us the state of our data. And our goal here is to make sure that everyone's names only show up once. And if they show up more than once, it's because things are a little inconsistent. And so here we have, so George, his name was misspelled by one person and someone else had him as a school staff instead of a teacher. So we'll need to kind of rectify these errors to get everything set up. We also have a blank row here, so I'll take care of that. All right, so let's get George fixed up, and we can't do any edits up here. This is just a printed list. Our edits happen down here in our working list, and so here we have this just compiles all of the files that we got from everyone. And so here's all the information from Ann Allen. These recommenders. These are the folks who participated in our roster development. And Ann shows up a bunch of times, and she shows up for the number of times that she nominated people. So we have our recommenders in our nominated folks. So these are the people who they listed in the roster development. So to clean our roster development data, let's just sort by last name. So we have Anne, so she was recommended, she was nominated a couple times. Rose was nominated a couple times, and so on. We want to get down to George. There he is. So you can type in the cells or copy and paste, whatever works best for you. So assuming he actually is a teacher and not school staff, you'll have to verify that. I gotta fix his email. I'm just gonna copy and paste here. All right. Let's see. Okay, yep, he's only showing up once. So I've got that all clean. I need to fix my NAs here. So what's gonna happen here is I have blank rows. I think that's what's going on. And I'm gonna actually get this so it says true. So it's gonna say we're gonna remove anything that's blank down here. So let's take a look. Yep, we just have some blank rows. That's fine, that happens. So we'll just select those. Okay. All right, great. So anytime this says true here, it just means it's still gonna display the row here, but it just says it's here, don't worry about it, we'll get rid of it later. Okay, so now that we have everything cleaned up, we might realize that we have some new names on here of folks who have not participated in the roster development. What you might want to do is invite them to participate in the roster development. And we call this a snowball sample. So it just kind of rolls on itself and gets bigger. So we might want to do that a couple times, where we might want to go a few rounds where we invite people and they give us names. And when we get to the point where the names they give us are, we're seeing the same names over and over again, then that's a probably good indication that we can stop. Or the names they're giving us, we don't know these people. We don't know where they're coming from. So maybe we don't want to include what they have. So we can do that for a few rounds. That is the number of times that happens is up to you. So we'll need to download our full working roster. This is essentially the save button on our work. So anytime you want to do this, we're just going to put it in the same file or the same folder that we have all of our other working rosters in. And you can do this at any point in your work. Actually, you don't have to wait till you have things clean up here. This is your save button. At any point you need to stop, get some lunch, whatever. Save your work this way. All right, so we'll invite some folks to participate in our second round of our roster development, and then we'll come back and incorporate the work that they give us in some more cleaning. Welcome back. So we've gotten some more responses from our roster development, and we're going to incorporate that work. So again, we'll just hit our browse button, and I've included our new files in the same folder with our old ones, so we don't have to worry about sorting through that. I've also included my full working roster, so I'm just going to upload everything. And here's where we see a difference in our uploaded files versus our included rosters. So even though I actually selected everything, it's only paying attention to the new things. And here is where it's showing me all the things that are being included in the work that I'm working with right now. The old stuff plus the new stuff. All right. So we see that our work with George before, that's been retained. So we're all set there. And we have some more interesting things that we need to fix. Well, Mr. P, who's that? We look at the email. Oh, well, that's George again. All right. Looking at some other things, what might be weird. Oh, hey, look at that. George's name got flipped. So here's where you're going to have to be careful and think about, keep in mind all the names you're seeing on your list and catch this kind of stuff. So even though this list is sorted by last name, sometimes sorting by email or maybe even phone number can help us out. We also have some NAs, some more NAs down here. So let's take a look and get things sorted out. So let's sort by email this time. And so, yep, so all right. And I'm going to try sorting by phone number and see if that helps me out. Oh, it did. Look at that. We lucked out. It's not always going to happen that way. You're probably not going to get everyone who puts the phone numbers in like that. So we lucked out here in our made up data. So I'm just going to do copy and paste again. All right, and I have to fix that email as well. All right, let's see if that did the trick. It looks like it. Okay. Yep, we're good there. We have to take care of our tacked on rows here, our blank rows. So notice that all the rows that we had selected before, they are still selected. Okay. All set there? Okay, great. So, all right, so this just says, it still displays the row. Again, it'll say, it'll drop it out if I don't want it. Okay, so one thing we might want to consider is some of the folks that we have in this list, that we ask to participate in the roster development exercise, they might not actually be part of the network. So let's think about Eugene. He's a community member, but maybe in the past he was a retired teacher. But we asked him for names because he was a teacher for the district for a long time. He kind of knows everybody. And we're like, yeah, Eugene's going to know everybody. But since he's retired, maybe he's not really part of the network. And so we decide, let's take him out. And so let's go over to recommender last name, sort by that. All right. Where is Eugene? There he is. All right. So in order to remove Eugene from the recommenders, but keep all the people he nominated, we have recommender remove. So we're just gonna click all those. There we go. All right. And where do we have here? Oh, he's showing up twice now. Oh, I know. He probably got recommended. He probably got nominated. So let's sort. Oh, yep, there he is. Okay. So we need to remove him from the nominated list as well. Okay, there we go. Okay. So again, he's still showing up here, but it just says he's going to get dropped from our final list. All right. So now that we have, maybe we've gone a few rounds of our roster development snowball, and we're like, okay, this is good. We want our list. Make sure that you have all these names spelled properly, because this is how they're going to show up on the survey. This is how they're going to show up on your map. This is the time to fix them. We have all of our emails. We don't want to have any bounces on that. So we're going to make sure that they're all set here. Make sure our roles are all set here. So maybe we think about this a little bit. Oh, you know what, Eugene, I think I really want to keep it. Might change my mind. That's fine. We can still do that at this point. Let's go ahead and put him back in, because he's actually in the demos for some later stuff. So let's keep things consistent. We're going to keep Eugene. Okay, great. So we're all set. All right, so my list is all set. I am going to, once again, save my full working roster. Again, that's always my save button. Yep, go ahead and replace that. And now I'm going to save my roster exports. So let's go ahead and save all these things. Put those in a different file. I'm going to put these in a roster cleanup file. So everything that I have here is going to go in there. All right. And sometimes if you haven't quite gotten everything clean, you'll get some error messages when you hit these buttons. They won't catch everything, so you still do need to really pay attention. But some of the easy things to catch, they'll catch for you. All right, so let's take a look at our exports. Roster analysis, you might have seen this if you looked at the roster development video. This is just a really simple way to explore potential key influencers in your network. So if you don't have the resources to do a full survey, this can show you folks that were nominated, and they're ranked by the number of times they got listed. So that's a real simple, kind of quick and easy social network analysis, if you will. If you do want to do a survey, you're going to need these next two files. This first one is the coordinator list. And so this has everyone's name, email, phone number, and their ID number. So you will use these emails to invite people to the survey. And the file that you are actually going to send them is the survey roster list. So it's pretty similar to this, but it strips out the ID numbers and their contact information. So they don't have that on each other. They just have their own, each other's names and roles. So they'll upload that to the survey to take it. So one thing I want to reiterate is make sure that this roster is absolutely complete before proceeding with the survey. You will not be able to add new network members once you have sent the survey roster to these participants. You will not be able to change the spelling. Consider this set in stone when you start sending this to participants. So please keep that in mind. All right, so with all that in mind, good luck and happy surveying.